All right, guys, I got some special guests here for us today on Pure Evil MMA. We got the Mayhem Monkey Kalt stopping back in here. I got Randy Marshall, who you guys remember from the first stream, and also another special character of the Mayhem Monkey Kalt, Saria. How are you guys doing today?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Randy, how about yourself, man? How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm great. Actually, Saria is not one of the characters. He's actually Mayhem's. He works with everything.
So
basically,
he's a business
industries manager. I run everything with Mayhem. Work side by side on all our projects.
Oh, okay. I've actually talked to you before in the past then when we actually had Mayhem come on my show.
Yeah. That was me.
So that's awesome, man. Thank you for joining us here today on Pure Evil MMA. You're actually driving right now, man. What are you up to? I mean, you got to be safe out there.
Man, I just got my haircut, and I'm looking fresh. I feel like I lost 10 pounds of weight on my head, even though I'm balding, so it feels weird. But yeah, I got done with some work, talked to some big guys, and, just enjoying Southern California, cruising down the traffic.
There you go. And Randy, where are you joining us today for this live stream?
I'm sitting in my car, bro. I'm in Virginia.
All right, and
I'm not on the interstate.
You're not driving on the interstate. So listen, guys, there's something that we've been talking about for a while now here, and for any of our new listeners out there that love Mayhem Miller, don't know who Mayhem Miller is, don't know who Nick Diaz is, or loves Nick Diaz, the real fight that we all want to see, hopefully one day happen, is Mayhem finally getting that fight with Nick. What are the chances, do you think, that this is ever going to happen, honestly?
Well, Nick Diaz is kind of a pussy, so it's never going to happen.
Well,
I haven't really given up. Go ahead.
Well, it's a little harder now because, of course, Nick's in the UFC still. He's signed under contract, so we might have to do something. So I kind of recommended something. Why don't they go at it for battle shits or something? It doesn't have to be a fight, but a contest to something. Somebody has to come out the champion. Doesn't necessarily need to be fighting. Let's do something like battle shits or something. Settle the score.
Yeah, man played something.
Yeah. I'm back, by the way. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, you actually kind of disconnected from us for a second here. But, a big thing, Randy, is that you actually study mixed martial arts. For anybody out there that wants to follow you on Twitter, what's your handle for everybody?
It's at Aikawa Martial Arts. It's AIKAWA Martial Arts.
All right, and what about you, Saria? For tags for Twitter for everybody.
For Twitter, it's my first and last name. It's Saria Serafi. That's S as in Sam, A-R-I-A, and then S as in Sam, A-I-R-A, F as in Frank, E.
And make sure you guys go follow us at Pure Evil MMA. All right, let's start this show off really quick. Did any of you guys see UFC 211 this weekend? Joanna Jędrzejczyk defending the belt once again. Stipe knocking out JDS. Did either of you guys catch that?
Man, I didn't get to watch that, but I heard it was crazy.
Yeah, it was really good. I gave it actually a 4 out of 5 stars. Randy, were you able to catch that or no?
Dude, I miss everything because I work night shift.
Oh.
It blows.
Yes.
I was standing at a convenience store watching drunk people come in, so I missed it.
That's awesome. All right. So, yeah, JDS, man, getting knocked out. Do you guys think that he still has it in him? I mean, he's kind of been hot and cold. He looked great against Big Ben Rothwell. But, I don't know, Stipe's just on a different level right now.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like any fighter who has a fire burning in their heart, they put their mind to it, they're going to do great. I'm great. I'm sure that, if he continues putting in hard work and he puts some time to focus on some of the things that his people around him tell him to, and there's synergy with him and his team, I'm sure he's going to have a good comeback with that.
Well, he's already defended the title. What? He beat Verdum, then he beat Overeem, and now he just beat JDS, so that's the second time he defended the title, I believe. And that's equivalent to how many times Kane defended the title as well.
Oh, man, yeah, that's, I love seeing that, honestly, man, because when you get a streak of people defending their titles, this kind of opens the doors to where it's like, all right, who can acquire the skill or who can put on the show to actually take it? It kind of brings tenseness to the game, so that's nice. I'm looking forward to see what happens from that in the future.
What about you, Randy? What do you think about Stipe defending the title once again? You think he is the greatest of all time, or just times are a little different here?
I hate the term greatest of all time, especially because
thrown around too much, right?
Oh my God, it's definitely thrown around too much. I mean, you heard it with Ronda Rousey, you heard it with you hear it with the Diaz brothers, you hear it with everybody, and then as soon as they fall, everybody's there to kick dirt on them, shit on them.
Oh yeah.
Go on their social media, trash them.
I completely agree with that, Randy. But then, what about Fedor? If we're gonna mention some goats,
you got to bring Fedor. Yeah, he's definitely worthy in that mix. Even if he doesn't beat Matt Mitrione, and like Randy just said, people will throw dirt anytime that somebody loses. You know.
Yeah, you could win 20 in a row, and then as soon as on every, I knew he was done, he's finished, and I'm more one of those people that I'm going to sit and look at your whole career. I'm going to give you respect for what you put into the sport. I think it's like people like Mike Tyson, people shit on him so hard, but they ignore the fact that for multiple years he pissed everyone off. You pay $40 for a pay-per-view, and Mike Tyson come out in the first round, second round, and just knock the shit out of you, and dude's gone. That's it. Your $40 is gone. But you got to get those guys.
And you know what? I just actually had Owale Bamboje on my show not too long ago, and he kind of opened my eyes up to something special as well. Like any of these fighters in the UFC, any of these athletes that have made it to the big show, they really are world champions, or champions. I shouldn't say world champions, but they're champions from other organizations. Now, Randy, you actually had had somebody that you suggested to come on my show by the name of Jason Reinhart, who is actually a world champion. What's your relationship with Jason?
He's just a cool, legit guy, He talked to us a little bit in the monkey chat, talked to him a little bit here and there. He's doing his thing out in Florida. He's training his ass off, and it's definitely showing. The guy is completely ripped.
Yeah, he is.
Go ahead.
Well, he was telling us a story when he came on about how when he was fighting in the UFC, right before he had his fight down in Brazil, that they kicked him out of the hotel room the night before his fight because the sponsors weren't paying the bills. It's like, how does that happen? How does that happen in professional sports? I just don't understand that.
Oh man, let me tell you this much, Eddie.
Okay.
When you deal with these sponsor guys, a lot of these companies, they tend to like, they'll talk real nice to you, and when it comes down to it, if they're not sucking, if they're not sucking you dry, they're gonna want to end up kind of cutting you out almost. Now, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of companies that are good. They know how to work with the fighters and the managers and the companies and kind of do the right thing. And you see that with the sponsors that last long. But then you always get, companies that companies that will promise to, pay for an event and pay off the fighters or pay for this, pay for that. And, after they get you, they end up just starting to try to cut corners and save a penny when they already made a deal. And honestly, I view that to be a disgrace in the game. And that's something that, martial arts is all about respect. And it's not just for the fighters, it's for the businesses too. And, in all businesses and in all industries, there are going to be some disrespectful cats out there. And, you'll definitely see that with sponsors. So I'm not surprised, but the fact that that happened is kind of just like, it pisses me off. It disgusts me, because I know the trouble it takes to get in with these guys, and I know the hell it takes to get a deal going, and to finally everyone's happy and everyone settles from everything, and to go there and kind of like screw it off just because you want to save a few $100, or $1,000 is just, garbage. So any company that's doing that, they're not going to last long in the martial arts game. But it happens, and unfortunately, it happens a lot.
Especially to Jason Reinhardt, who actually is a world champion, not just a champion, he's a world champion.
Exactly. It's just bad business, man. It's bad business.
What were you saying, Randy?
I said he put in his time. He put in his work. He worked hard. It showed.
Yeah, and you know what? He actually was telling us that night, Vanderlei's wife actually welcomed him into the gym, so he didn't have to, go through that. And that's when he actually started training over there with Vanderlei. But I got to ask you guys this. Fedor and Silva are both going to be fighting on this Bellator 180 card. Or it's actually going to be Bellator NYC after 180. How do you guys think they're going to do there? You got Chael Sonnen versus Vanderlei, and then you also have Fedor versus Matt Mitrione.
Man. I'm hoping Fedor wins. I've always been a diehard Fedor fan. No disrespect to the opponent, but at the same time, all respect to Fedor, he's a great. And, in my eyes, he is, to me, the greatest of all time. Now, of course, that's arguable, and we don't like that term because it's very subjective. And, people win, people lose. But the only thing is, Fedor, unfortunately, is not what he used to be. So, sometimes, I don't want to see the guy lose. So it's going to be a good fight. I'm hoping he wins. But, his opponent is a great fighter, too. All respect to him. I'm just worried about seeing Fedor lose, to be honest. That's really my whole ordeal with that.
What about you, Randy? How do you think these guys are going to do?
Man, my answer almost exactly matches his. Like, you want to say, like, I want Fedor to win, but, like, at the same time, like, sometimes you just take such a beating in life, and these young, fresh guys are just out there just tearing it up, and you know what I mean. Yeah.
Well, I got the next thing I want to ask you guys, since you're both involved with Mayhem Miller. I've had a lot of people come out to me after, you guys were on the show, after Mayhem was on the show, and they miss him. They miss him so much. And I heard some pretty cool ideas, like, why don't they come out with, like, the roast of Mayhem Miller, or do, like, a Mayhem Monkey convention? I mean, we should put something together for him. This could be a lot of fun.
Oh, man. One second.
The roast of Mayhem Miller. Like, you can even get that on Comedy Central.
I think he's broke.
Is involved in all industries. And you bet your ass there's going to be a comedy-type show with Mayhem. I mean, it's already in the works. So it's funny that you bring that up, because we were even discussing having something where we get a bunch of comedians involved with Mayhem and put them on a show. And we Mayhem actually got a lot of friends that are big comedians. And, we've already kind of opened the book on that. Very briefly, though, because we have some more precedent matters to attend to. Mm-hmm. But you sure as hell, you bet that there's going to be a comedy Mayhem Miller show. And Mayhem Miller, you're going to see him getting roasted. You're going to see him roasting. I mean, it's going to be full-on mayhem. So, yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised this hasn't happened yet, especially with the superstar that Mayhem Miller is. I mean, he introduced mixed martial arts into a lot of homes here in America on MTV with Bully Beatdown. Even before that, man, just his own style, his technique, and just how he goes about things. I mean, that would excite anybody. Everyone knows who Mayhem Miller is. Even my little sister remembers Mayhem Miller, and, and she just got into high school.
Oh, my God. Yeah, dude. He's, man, people don't know that when you meet Mayhem in person and you actually get to know him, you're going to see, two main sides to him, kind of like a logical, your typical guy, and then you're going to see the character that you see, on TV and all the shows and this and that, and he'll tell you stories, like, every day I hang out with them, it's a new crazy story about something going into the pool, or someone getting, knocked out, or some funny, crazy happening. And, when you spend enough time, you'll start seeing a blend of the two. It's almost impossible for Mayhem to not be putting on a show, even if he's not trying. And that's something that, people don't understand, that it's his persona. It's almost like it's so natural. A lot of these guys, they have a persona for the cameras, right?
Yep.
And once the cameras are off, they're completely different people. But with Mayhem, it's not like that. And I think that's what kind of made it to where he was glorified in, a lot of America's household, because, you see snippets of his interviews of just, him at his natural with different, like, kind of like recorded videos and stuff, where it's not really produced. It's just in the moment, and you see the same Mayhem Miller that's on camera. So yeah, man, it's interesting, and we do have a lot built around that. So like I said, Mayhem is going to be hitting cameras. He's going to be in movies coming up for sure. There are a lot of musicians, rappers and whatnot that are pretty big out there, that are going to also be involved with Mayhem Miller Industries, putting more media on Mayhem Miller Industries. So everything from music to shows. Yeah, man, there's even like a random point, and sorry if I'm rambling.
No.
But recently, I became, kind of close with, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Mad Squabble. He's a rapper coming up right now. The dude he's a kid, 20 years old. He's a beast though. And we're actually getting ready to connect with him and his father, who's his manager, and we're going to be putting a show on soon involving them, and a bunch of other people too are involved. So there's a lot to look forward to from Mayhem Miller Industries, and Mayhem is going to be bouncing up, back and forth from TV to radio very soon. So you guys, look forward for that, because it's coming. It's coming within the next few months too.
And he has such a huge following out there as well. It blows me away, the support. Like, there are people that wake up every morning in the Mayhem Monkey Kalt, or supporters all over the place. I see it all over Twitter, that support Mayhem every day, and he shows his love right back. And the one thing that I love about all of this is that he doesn't ignore the love that he gets. Like, he really does pay it back, and I love that. He keeps us every day updated with what he's doing. I just saw him training with Matt Horwich out in Poland inside like a barn. He's always doing some funny stuff out there, always keeping us updated. Ninja Turtles, he's always doing something.
Oh yeah, that's the thing about man. Like, a lot of people, when they become famous and they get a lot of attention, they kind of like, they get over it in a sense to where they turn into dicks. Like, they start viewing fans as like these lesser objects, and they themselves, their arrogance gets so high. Now with Mayhem though, with the Monkey Kalt and his following, he's like best buddies with them. It's funny. It's a trip. He'll randomly be like tweeting back and forth with them and commenting on stuff, and like he gets so involved to where you're like, holy shit, man. Everyone that I talk to that's a fan has spoken to you before, and like have all these funny stories of encounters. Whereas typically, you see celebrities with their fans. It's rare that they meet their celebrity that they really like, their role model, whether it's an actor or a fighter or whatever it may be. And it's like some huge deal. Oh, I got a story about Denzel Washington when I met him. But with Mayhem, it's like, oh yeah, I spoke to Mayhem and he did this. And the next guy's like, oh yeah, I remember on Twitter Mayhem did this. We were talking and you randomly said this, and it was hilarious. So it's like he really treats them with respect. So I think that's what makes Mayhem Miller Industries have the fuel that it does. It's the people. It's like people in the Monkey Kalt, like Randy, like Charles, like all the guys. One of them, Manu Krez.
Yeah, Manu.
I mean, talk about dedication. You know, this lady's pumping out beautiful art every day.
Every day. Every
Honed
morning.
around.
Inspirational
Every
quotes.
day. Honed around Mayhem Miller Industries. And it's like, I mean, that's just beautiful, man. I don't know. I love it. I think it's gold.
Yeah.
It's great that people see it, too.
It really is. And you know what? It's crazy because you just brought something up. You don't see other stars or even in other sports really come out and talk to their fans. But in MMA, not even just Mayhem Miller, but a lot of the people that came up in mixed martial arts, it grew with the internet. So they show love back to their fans a lot. And I think that's something special about mixed martial arts in general, how much of a role that the internet plays in with, you know, the matches that are most likely being made or you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's, you know, with the internet, people can connect so easily. It gives the opportunity to show true character as well. So it's interesting to see how certain people treat other people online. You can really tell a lot about them. So, you know, judging from what you've seen, you can already infer that Mayhem Miller Industries, everyone at Mayhem Miller Industries, are heavily connected with our people and our supporters. And, you know, that's important. That's crucial. So it's great, man. I'm happy. You know, MMA makes it so much easier, too, because, you know, a lot of the times you go to a random MMA gym, you know, I want to say 7 out of 10 times, you'll find a pretty good name in there, you know, a champ who's training out of there, and you get the opportunity to connect. So, you know, God bless MMA, right?
Yeah. Yep. You know, Randy, I gotta ask you both something here, and we got the chat room open if anyone wants to comment on this. You know, somebody messaged me last time you were on, and they were really upset that I didn't ask you guys if you have any like unexplainable things that have ever happened to you, like a ghost story or UFO, Bigfoot, Mothman. Has anything ever unexplainable happened to you? Either of you guys?
Randy, do you want to go first?
Randy.
Good. I was gonna ask you to go first because I was trying to think.
I've had a couple of really crazy things happen to me before, and one time, and this was really something that I really can't explain. I was in my living room, and we had like a den next to us. It's like an outside room. It's all windows. It's like a glass room, and I was sitting in the chair next to it, and we were in like a group of people, and my ex-girlfriend took a picture, and I had my dog in my arms, and it looks like there's like a little goat man in the corner, and my dog's staring right at it. You can see the eyes, the nose, the chin, and it looks like it has a hood on, but it looks like a little mini goat man. It's on my Facebook, a matter of fact. I'll bring it up after, and you guys can try to debunk it, but it's pretty weird. And then a couple of months later, I was in that same chair, and for some reason, I looked to my right, like out the door, and it looked like a hand just like kind of brushed up against the window and just like disappeared. I've never been able to explain it. I've always wanted to believe in ghosts. I definitely do believe in the afterlife, but I've never actually been through something that I can't explain. Usually it's something, you know, you're like, oh, well, it could have been this, it could have been that. But, you know, those are two things that I definitely can't explain. You know, do you guys believe in the afterlife? You guys believe in the afterlife?
Oh, for sure,
I do.
man. Don't even get me started. I've had tons of experiences, too, unexplainable experiences. Like this one time, it was me, my mom, my dad, my 2 little brothers, and my aunt, right? We walk in to the house, and, you know, we know that my 2 older brothers are not home. We know for a fact that they're not. Their cars are gone. You know, they told us that they were going to go handle some stuff. So we come in the house, and everyone's downstairs sitting in the living room, right?
Yeah.
And I shit you not, like footsteps on top. Footsteps, full-on footsteps, like right on top of us walking. Like you hear the wood and everything, like weight on the wood, you know, 100% footsteps. So my aunt kind of tripped out because she was like, wait, aren't your older brothers gone? So we called them up, and indeed they are. So my aunt goes to the side of the stairs, on the bottom of the stairs, and she calls out their names because she thinks that, you know, they're fucking with her.
Yeah.
And the footsteps run.
What?
They start, I swear to God, man, hand to God, you know, if I'm lying, may I be struck with lightning.
Oh, my God.
running upstairs, dude. Running back and forth, dude. Back and forth upstairs. And we're like, what the fuck? No one's coming down, but they're running. So, me and my dad go upstairs, and we literally look in every room, every closet, under every bed. You know, we were thinking robbers. Every window is closed, and the screens for the windows are there. I mean, there was nobody. And, the windows were all closed. And we make sure everything's closed before we leave the house.
Wow.
And I remember, you know, me and my dad had to run around the house before we left to make sure everything was closed. So, man, I could not explain that. It was terrifying. And I'll tell you this much. A year or 2 years later, I hear footsteps coming down the house, or coming down the stairways at like 2 in the morning, right? And I walk towards the stairs, and the footsteps are as if like it's at the end of the stairs, and the last step is taken, but nobody's there.
Yo, I would be so shook. I don't even know how you even got up to it. I would have ran out of the house, bro. I would have freaked out.
I did.
2 in the morning.
I couldn't, for a second, I freaked out, dude. It was terrifying. So those 2 instances, I could never explain 100%.
Where's this? In South California? Where is this? In South California?
Yeah. Southern California.
Randy, what about you, brother?
Oh, man, I actually remember one that was super, super crazy. I was sleeping one night, and I woke up, and it looked like a perfect hurricane with like an eye and everything just turning above my bed.
Above your bed?
Like, yeah, like it looked like a perfect hurricane, like about 5 or 6 feet wide, and it was probably about 3-4 feet above my bed. And I was laying there, and I know that I was seeing it because it didn't go away. Like, I was just sitting there frozen looking at it, and I rolled off the side of the bed after about a minute or so, and I went running up the stairs going, oh, my God. And to this day, my family thinks I'm, like, fucking nuts for that one. For real.
Hey, man.
Like,
you could have been having some hypnagogic hallucinations.
Yeah, man, you probably could have been granted 3 wishes or something. That was like some genie or something, man.
Oh,
that
my
shit
God,
was...
dude.
Comes out with the voice of Robin Williams.
Hey, man, I gotta ask you guys something.
What's up?
If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
That's a good one. Honestly, I would really like to read people's minds.
Damn, man.
What about you, Randy?
I feel like
mass procreation. I want like 1,000 kids.
Oh
that would
God,
be
man.
to taking over the world. If you had 1,000 of me, we could make
1,000
memes on a whole new level. Just take over the whole internet and just hand it right over and be like, "Yo, Mayhem, we got you, homie." Oh, can I say something real quick? Can I say something real quick?
Of course.
Hey, don't forget to subscribe to the Mayhem Podcast on iTunes, and you have to leave a comment, and you have to rate it. It's 5 stars. I'll help you out because it's the bee's knees, and, like, it's monkey stuff, and we rock. So you give it 5 stars, you leave a really cool rating, and you could win a T-shirt.
How about that?
T-shirts are the shit, man. Those T-shirts are the shit. Top quality, man.
Yeah.
If you don't have one, you're missing out.
Mayhem actually is doing his own podcast. In case you guys didn't catch that, there. You know, I haven't really tuned into it yet. What's it like?
It's like living in Mayhem's brain.
Definitely got to go check that out. Before I let you guys go, I got to get both of your tags and where people can find you one more time. And then, of course, big shout out to the Mayhem Monkey Kalt for making this happen. I'm looking forward to seeing this roast or whatever is going to happen with Mayhem Miller. I think it's genius. I mean, the world wants more Mayhem Miller. They can never get enough of him. He's always on TMZ, too, whether it's good or bad or whatever. He's always in the spotlight. A lot of people know who Mayhem is. So we'd love to see something happen, like a roast. I mean, you guys can probably even do it on Comedy Central. He's that big of a star that I wouldn't be surprised if they would be totally down to do that. Everyone loves Mayhem Miller. But before we let you guys go, Randy, what's your Twitter tag to leave everybody off with?
Aikawa, Aikawa. One is Aikawa Martial Arts, and the other one is Aikawa MMA. That's Twitter and Instagram.
And Sarah, what about you? Where can everybody find you?
Mine is my first and last name, Sadia Serafi. If you want to get updated on the coolest shit from A to Z, and if you want exclusives on anything from Mayhem Miller Industries, you got to follow me. And that's S as in Sam, A-R-I-A, and then S as in Sam, A-I-R-A, F as in Frank, E.
Thank you guys so much for joining me here today. It was an honor, and I cannot wait to see what happens. We're going to have you guys both back on next time. And until then, God, I'm praying for you because that's some scary shit you guys just told me.
All right.
I'm praying for myself 5 times a day, bro.
Have a good night, guys.
You too, brother.
And I'm Evil Eddie from Pure EVil MMA, frontproofmedia.com, and MMA UK. Behave yourselves.